Let's start by connecting deep, deep, deep. Going right to the core of things. And that core is a felt sense. And that felt sense is that we're inhabiting the centralmost, the deepest areas of our body. The most central of space in the head. The most central place in throat. In heart. Solar plexus. In the abdomen. Or dantian. All the way down to the tail. We just start to situate in and nearer to this great depth. It's in this direction. It helps us start to cut underneath the beliefs and the inner talk. And even the sensations themselves. But because this is an embodiment practice, we'll work a lot with the sensations, so that's quite all right. There's so much great stuff if we can just get to the sensations beneath the words and the thoughts and the beliefs. So take 3 more breaths. Let these breaths start to move and open the body. Not a forced way, but just start to get a sense of expandedness. We start to try on in our body this feeling state of vastness. Of spaciousness. And again, in the interest of working with this spaciousness and coming to find the many ways we have designed our constrictions. Maybe there is a constriction or a belief or a thought pattern that no longer serves us. So we'll set the right leg out and we'll fold the left heel in near the groin. And maybe we even have a sense of how this thought pattern or how this belief system kind of, shall we say, I don't want to say co-ops, but how it kind of leases our body, gets some free work. Maybe we have a sense of where that occurs. So we're going to play root around and poke the bear using our Uddiyana. So when I fold, I'm going to fold directly between my thighs. Inhale, and do your best to feel that inhale moving, occurring in that area of your body, wherever that thought system or that belief system tends to latch on in the cells. And hold the breath. So you're holding a full inhale breath, reaching through the inner leg, broadening open the foot bones, and so all those foot nerves, relaxing vision. It doesn't have to be myopic or sharply focused, but also don't intentionally blur your vision. Just let the vision be soft. All right, bring the hands between the thighs, swift, thorough exhalation. Remain empty. And as you draw the belly in and back and up, part one is just working with the emptiness. And part two is using this pulling in, almost like a dredging tool. Again, we're gently poking the bear. We're poking the patterns. Where does this thought system live in the body? Where does this belief system tend to co-opt or lease our cells function? We'll start to pull and tug in and through that area. And release the belly. Inhale, we'll come upright. So we'll do one more on this side, we'll do two more on the other side. So I'll talk us through. And we may still be refining where it is we're working in the body. Inhale. And this can be anywhere we tend to find ourselves contracting or restricting ourselves. These are all great places to work. And as you're holding the breath, can that area just begin a process of absorption, absorbing the breath? That we're feeling, waiting with it. Maybe new information can't quite enter at this point. We'll bring the hands between the thighs, swift, thorough exhalation. Remain empty. Draw belly in and back and up. Pull in, around, from that region in your body you're starting to identify and get clearer on. What does it feel like when you work this Uddiyana with it and on it? And release. Inhale, we'll come up. Okay, we'll switch our leg sides. So our left leg is out, our right heel in. Every state needs a body. So if I have a state of mental state, a particular mental thought state, there's a way that it works and can be felt in the body. Belief state, passionate belief state. All right. Inhale. Pause, holding the breath. Feel if breath can be absorbed to any degree into this area that's interesting enough to root around, investigate. Bring hands forward, swift, thorough exhalation. Remain empty. As you're drawing the belly in, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Use the hands to lightly pull. So as you're suctioning and drawing the abdomen in, we're also lengthening through the solar plexus, lengthening under the heart. Release when needed. All right, let's do the last round at our own pace, our own individual pace, yet collectively. Remember, when it comes to our belief systems, our ego, our structure, our persona, our controller, it needs to be right. So it's another way to find a belief system. Where is it? When is it that I need to be right? And that'll give us a pretty good indication of, oh, that's where some ego, some persona, some structure, conditioned, habitual stuff still goes there. The trolls of habit. Then we'll work unlocking the shoulder in Baddha Konasana. You know, maybe that's a good exercise. Maybe I'll try that. Let's try to take inventory of all of the places I like to be right. And I bet I can come with a lot of secret hidden little personality. All right, Baddha Konasana. Let's go right elbow in front of right shoulder. We'll spread open the right hand. Inhaling, feeling all the way to the fingertips. Exhale, draw the right shoulder away from the ear and the jaw. Pull the shoulder blade down, send the elbow forward. Now, if you have some shoulder issues, you may need to use that other hand to just supply some support, different leverage points. For some of us, reaching and moving the arm bone forward might actually be deleterious for some ligaments. So you might actually have to compress and move the shoulder or the arm back in the socket. Okay, but if no issues, take that left palm to the inner elbow. Inhale, feeling into this right shoulder. That breath can contact that right side of heart. And then exhale, move the shoulder away from the ear. Open up through the hand bones. Pull the shoulder blade down and start to engage the chest muscles. We're here for a couple more breaths. Inhale. If you're doing a pretty good physical effort here, muscles may already be getting a little taxed, a little warm. Exhale, move the shoulder down. It's away from the jaw, the blade down. Keep fine-tuning that position of arm, because all our shoulders are in different states, I'm sure. Press, engage the chest muscles. There's no shoulder issues. Reach that elbow forward. Now, wherever it's starting to get a little spicy, we just bring some breath to that area. Go direct. It's okay if it's hot. It's okay if it's starting to burn up a little bit. Exhale the shoulder down. Chest muscles engage. Reach, press that elbow forward, that forearm forward, opening up the hand. And release. We'll do the other side. We're still in Baddha Konasana. Enjoy. Left elbow shoulder height. And inhaling with feeling the breath contact this inner shoulder space. Because as we keep sensing in deeply, deeply, we find that there is a lot of space in this body. Exhale the shoulder down, the blade down, the elbow can reach forward. So again, if there's shoulder injury, use your right hand, supply some extra support or compression or pressure. If no issues, we'll put the palm inside the elbow, inhale, splay, open up that hand. Exhale the shoulder down, the blade down the ribs. And start to press and engage the chest muscles. That's elbow into palm, palm into elbow. Take 2 more deep breaths. Go direct. Go right into the shoulder space. It's not just the movement of the body structure. And release. It's also finding the space that pervades the body structure. So a little shift in perception. But what's super cool is joints are a really nice way, a really nice place to start to perceive space. Let's do both arms same time. So we got both elbows up. Aha! Now the elbows are just a teeny tiny bit closer to each other than the palms. Inhale into the upper back. Opening up the palms. Exhale the shoulders down away from the neck. And compress that space between your elbows. I'm not compressing the shoulder joint space, but just the space between the elbows, reaching the forearms forward, the elbows forward. Inhale, as you're compressing all that space, there'll be a lot of juice, a lot of energy we can work with in these compressive environments, these compressive actions. A lot of great energy there. Exhale the shoulder down, the blades down, and compress the space between the elbows. Reach the elbows forward, lengthening through the neck, spreading open the heels of the palms, reaching out through the fingertips. The next 2 breaths, here we go. Okay, so it's not just the arms I'm squeezing, compress that space between the elbows. So you're getting those inner arm lines lit up. Those are such vital lines to experiencing the movement of breath, the movement of energy, the movement of a handful of vital emotions. And then release. All right, help your legs together. They've been out there a bit. We're going to give the arms a rest by lying on our back. Find a roll or a prop. And we'll start with that prop between the legs. So we've got legs vertical and our spine on ground, hands supporting the back of the head. Inhaling, feel breath occurring in the low back. So our attempt here is to inhabit the low belly. Now squeeze the object. Exhale, float the head, shoulder blades up off the ground just a little bit. So it's just a little motion through the spine and the neck leading to the head, the tailbone leading to the sky. There's just a little motion throughout the whole spine. Draw the low belly down. Inhaling, setting the spine down, relaxing the leg efforts. Squeeze the object. Exhale. Bringing the head, the upper back off the ground. As we're reaching up to the legs, you may feel the tailbone just ever so slightly lifting toward the sky. So you feel that little pelvic shift. That's perfect and fine. Sink the low belly in and down. Inhale, set the head down, relax the leg efforts. Take a free exhale right here. So I want you to remember and start to tune in on these places, this area in the body that loves to be right or just has a fun little thought pattern connected with it. And we'll inhale there. Now hold the breath, squeeze the object, and we're still focusing in that area of the body. Exhale the head, the shoulder blades up, reach up to the legs. Keep squeezing the legs, lengthening through the inner legs. Sink the low belly in and down. So we're getting empty. Inhale, we'll set the head down. Inhaling into that area. And if it's fuzzy right now, just keep going for it. It may start to feel more refined and more exact as we go along. Squeeze the object, exhale, float the head, the shoulder blades up. As you're kind of locked in and starting to concentrate, pull low belly down. In that area of your body, inhale, set the head down. Now I want you to continue. I know I've got a slow pace, so please continue your pace. As we're kind of zooming in on this area, this is the play. We're introducing a different energetic or metabolic configuration. And so squeezing that object in a way you don't typically squeeze could provide some really interesting points of contrast. Start to feel that area differently. Breathing, right? consciously, Ujjayi breath, paced, and starts to introduce a different breathing, metabolic, energetic configuration while we're focusing on this pattern, this structure. It's fine to have these patterns and these beliefs and these structures, but we also can play with it like a manipulative. We can breathe into it differently. We can move energy around it differently. We don't have to wait for a habit or a trigger to kick it into gear. We play with it in the laboratory. Oh, and I run energy in my body this way, that starts to change that. This feels different. This doesn't feel so opaque or so dense. Okay, let's do 2 more. And it's wonderful to remember, right? The ego, the structure, it wants to survive. It wants to stay. It wants to be right and remain. So there might be a little pouting, a little internal irritability. Hey, what are you doing? I like this pattern just the way it is. It's what I know. And then after those 2, just set the head down, set the feet down, and bring 2 breaths of like cleansing washes of breath right into this area. With each new deep breath, a redesign. This is maybe how I can feel this area. This is how I can explore and sense this area. Let's set the feet up for bridge. And if you have a block nearby, just within hand's grip. Inhale, aligning the feet. And exhale, shift the tailbone toward the sky, the buttock lifts. The spine lifts. I don't want your back of legs to cramp up. So you may have to do a lot of little modifying, attenuating moves. But if you were to intone the feet, kind of grabbing the earth, almost pulling the earth toward your shoulder blades, you would likely get a big old boost of thigh feeling, butt feel. But again, we don't need them to cramp, so do it super little amount, just enough to go, aha, there's the backs of my legs. Heel toe the feet in 1 inch. Inhale, raise the right foot up. Exhaling, we'll send it toward the sky. Now, if at any time you need to use the block for added support, you do. But I encourage you, let this be a strong pose. Let the pose call up a deeper breath. So now as you're focusing and feeling your breath, contact this area that gets co-opted into these little thought systems, these little weather patterns of familiarity. We're just giving them a little different battery hookup, a little different energy, a little different configuration. How does this quality of breath go through that? When I'm doing my most habitual right self, I'm my most solid. I'm my most like impenetrable, solid, indefatigable self. It's like, yeah. And when I'm my most compassionate, there's a lot more kind of spaciousness. Let's set the right foot down and we'll switch sides. That's a good run. So, little dig in, the little heels. The feet gotta pull the earth softly toward the shoulder blades. Inhale, we'll draw the left leg up. Exhaling, reaching it into sky. Let the breath become different. Deepen breath. Let the charge of bridge introduce us to a different energetic weather pattern. And move that different energetic weather pattern through your area, meaning just contact, feel it, touch it, inquire. Good. Take one more breath. I know it's that little moment like, and then we'll set that left foot down to the ground. If you did use a block, push it out from under you. And lower your way down. All right, turn to a side. If you have 2 blocks, you'll have one pose. If you don't have 2 blocks, you'll have a different pose. So if you have 2 blocks, we're going to set them against a solid surface for Turbo Puppy. If you don't have 2 equally shaped blocks, you'll do dolphin with us. So if you're doing dolphin, you know the setup. Let's set this up. So if I have these blocks 45-degree tented, I put my palms on them and lower my forearms to almost parallel with the ground. So I'm just looking, measuring. My elbows seem to be 6 or 8 inches off the ground. The knees are under the hips. Curl toes under on exhale. I'm just going to press the knees up a few inches. Now, deepening breath is when our arms get worked into it in a strong way. Sometimes we make our breath small. Deepen breath. Let breath start to grow bigger than the constriction, the way we kind of bind and hold and protect, if we can imagine such a thing, right? Okay, we're going to do this in stages, so we'll give it a few more breaths. We're working all those unlocking the shoulder moves, inhaling into the upper back. That's why we did it, to prep for this. And as you're exhaling, the shoulders can be moved or felt, becoming more spaciously positioned from the head. And we just grab and condense the space between the elbows. There you go. And pushing the earth, pushing it down with the palms and down with the forearms. Okay, gently set the knees down. We'll call that part 1. We'll call this a vacation. We're only taking 2 breaths in this vacation, so If you really drag those breaths out and make them lengthy, you're doing vacation right. All right, round 2. So if you don't have 2 blocks, we're just doing round 2 of dolphin. Here we go. On exhale, press the knees up. This time, you can leave those knees hovering a couple inches off the wall, floor rather, or you can start to straighten them. You'll get a different work through the shoulders. And we'll gently set the knees down and call that complete. Let's bring our mats back to a working spot. We're going to do a round of Agnisara interspersed with some twisting horse stance. So let's take a wide stance. So at this point, we may be getting much clearer on this area, where it's situated in our body. The parts of our body tend to respond or restrict when we're, So let's deepen into horse stance. We're going to do a round of Agnisara, a slow round. Inhaling into this pattern. Exhale swiftly, everything out the mouth. Remain empty. Draw the belly in, back and up. And release the belly, but without breathing. We'll do it again, drawing the belly in, no breath. Release, draw the belly in and back and up. Release, draw in and back and up. Release, draw in and back and up. Release. Resume your Ujjayi breath. Again, deep, cleansing, new washes of breath. How we breathe is part of that, kind of that energetic fingerprint that we exert, we express in our body. So twisting horse stance to the right, which means I'm going to press my left palm into my left thigh. Those deep washes of breath, let them start to contact this area of intrigue, this pattern. Patterns were learned. Inhale, we'll unwind. Now we're going to do another round of Agnisara. This one will be a little bit quicker. Exhale everything out. It's right out the mouth. Stay empty, chin low, and draw the belly in and release. Just a little bit quicker than before. Draw in, back and up. Release, draw in, back and up. Release, draw in, back and up. When you need a breath, relax the belly, take breath. Cleansing, deep washes of breath as we now twist to the left, pressing the right hand into the right thigh. Who will I be without my patterns? Don't know. Don't know. But I rely on them. I know exactly how I'm going to behave at Thanksgiving when I get triggered by someone saying whatever about my piercings, right? It's familiar to me. Inhale, we'll unwind, straighten legs, exiting horse stance. And then turn the right foot forward for pigeon. So right foot will be our front foot. Position on your mat how you love. Inhale, the arms out to the side. Exhale. Right hand reach forward, right ribs lengthen, and you do all the block propping you need. So nothing feels crunchy and smunchy on the sacrum. You know. From time to time, I even like, you know, you could use a wall for setting up your triangle. So that might be beneficial. There might be one or two of us that might want to try out like this wall triangle variation. Okay. Applying that little palm push on the wall instead of the block. I just create a little more reflexive support down in the sacrum. Bend right knee for extended warrior variation chest opener. And opening up into a warrior two stance. And I'm picking the right forearm up and putting it on my right thigh. Exhaling, raising, lifting, reaching that left arm up into the sky and back into that space behind my head and spine. This is our chance for non-ordinary breathing configurations. Inhaling and bringing the right hand down to the ground and lowering the left hand next to the left hip. So I'm going into interlock warrior. But please, if the shoulders aren't quite lubricated feeling, I think we did a few things for them. Remember, you don't have to make the bind. You can always, this is a great alternate. If going interlock, left hand behind back, right arm under right thigh. Easy bird of paradise. Hang on, hands. So if you have interlock, hang on as we inhale the left foot, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, all the way up to the front of the mat. And there we stand up on that left leg, raising, bringing the right leg up with it. Now, if you didn't have the interlock, don't worry about it. We got the that alternate standing twist. Remember how we can do that? We just stand up on our left foot, grab a hold of the right foot with the right hand, and open up the chest to your left. And just like our scissors from the days ago, engage those inner legs, kind of roll, tweeze those inner legs in. Press, reach out through those inner legs. It is scissors. It's just, nice, nice. Inhale, we'll set that right foot down. Step the left foot back, chaturanga, release the hands. We'll lower all the way down, just giving the shoulders a tiny rest. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower, downward dog. Releasing the eyes, the neck. So you still have a sense of where that area is in your body. Great. Inhale, the left foot forward triangle. Deepen breath. The shape of your breath, right? Bringing a new design. How do we create a new design from a fractured pattern or a probed, discombobulated pattern? If we're poking the bear, we're kind of, how do we start the redesign? Start with your breath. Your breath interfaces with all of your cells. Old patterns needed to exist on one kind of a fuel. Maybe it's a fossil fuel. It's a weird word. But it's a fuel based on history. And we start to work in a different fuel, a different prana, a different energetic footprint, fingerprint rather. Right? Bend left knee. Inhale. I'm going to bring the left forearm to the left thigh. Extended warrior variation. Raising the right arm, opening up the chest by reaching back. Keep pressing down through that inner left foot. So big toe ball mound. Even the big toe as you reach back. We start the redesign, the remodel with our breath. How do these cells stay open and receptive? So we're going to do the lowering move, and then we can decide on interlock. So inhale and bring that left hand down to the ground, the right hand down to the hip. So if you have shoulder things, just the arms here is great. Going for interlock, exhaling the left arm under the thigh, the right hand behind the back. The emotions need to flow through the body. And when we hit replay on emotions, we keep playing the same emotions, we replay them, we replay them, we replay them. The body starts to just form. It's almost like those caves, those stalagmites, right? Something just starts to form when the same stuff drips down the ceiling, down to the ground. Easy burn. If you have the hand connection, hang on to it. Inhale, wiggle the right foot next to the left foot. You still have the hands. Stand up on your right foot and start to reach through that inner left leg. If you don't have the hands touching, you got the other. We stand up on the right foot, grab the left foot with the left hand, and turning, opening the chest to the right. There you go. That's it. Nice. Yeah, that inner thigh, kind of roll, almost like I'm rolling my left thigh up my arm. So I'm using that big old. All right, inhale, we'll set that left foot down, step the right foot back, release the hands, exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Remain in downward dog, and we'll just play with just feeling if the body has any bit of this spaciousness, this expandedness. So just feeling the heels, kind of send them toward the earth, the backs of the legs lengthen. When the pelvis moves back, can I feel my intestines lengthen? It's a very strong way to modify how we shape and use our energy is through our digestive system. So when the guts are soft, do they lengthen? Is there a sense of, ooh? Okay, reaching through the arms, the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Feeling that the neck can be relaxed. Gently set the knees down. When we lie on our back, I'm going to suggest a lying fold. If for whatever reason this won't work on your spine or your neck, you just join us in Shavasana. You can do another kind of like a hip release. Okay? But if we're lying on spine, not quite good, but you certainly could. There's nothing I'm trying to avoid with plow. I like plow. I'm going to bring my legs up, and then to whatever degree I want to feel that lower part of my spine bending, rolling, flexing, I'll just fold to whatever degree seems sweet and nice in the spine. So of course, if I pause in one place, I'll feel more flex in maybe my mid-back, whereas if my feet are in a different position, I may feel a little more in my upper back. Now, as I'm just setting this up, I'm also recalling how much I like doing this with a block between my ankles. Now, of course, I'm folding and ensuring the block is not over my head. But it's a really nice way to just feel the rotation of the hips, the pelvis. You don't have to do it. It's just a nice piece of feedback. I'm breathing into the back body, the spine side. And we start to unroll. If you had a block between your feet, just take it out. And we set up for Shavasana. And in these final moments, so we're breathing into this area of the body, these sweet washes of breath. Start to bring in the quality of energy, the quality of breath that you want to host, that you most want living in your cells. What does that feel like? That luminesces the body. What qualities help us remember in our body, in our cells, that deep, compassionate heart? And when you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. Use your palms so that when you press, the heart leads and the head follows. For fun. Got it. Namaste.